That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Jason David Frank.
Boom shakalaka.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter.
I'm Christian Basil.
And we are
I want to see if he wants to say it right.
Ready? We are at Tampa Bay ComicCon.
Yes.
In Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, that's
at the
city
Tampa
we're
Bay Convention Center. I ran out of Tampa Bay.
Oh.
I ran out of Tampa Bays.
In Tampa.
In Tampa. That's right.
So
We're
he-
here,
All
downtown.
day yesterday, he was so tired he could not say Tampa Bay ComicCon.
Oh, but I did like
to save his
18
life.
interviews, okay? Like, bam,
In fact, I
bam,
think we
bam,
were in
bam,
3
bam, it
different cities
happened.
by the time
Guys,
we finished.
we're here at Tampa
So-
Bay ComicCon. We're hanging with Steve Cardenas, the Red Ranger.
Da, da, da.
That's right. You guys, just imagine, he's got a helmet.
Right.
See? This is what he
He
looks
has
like.
a helmet.
For
What do you
real.
I'm in disguise right now.
He's in disguise.
Yeah,
He's
I'm Clark Kent. I'm
incognito.
Clark Kent right now.
That's right. So, Steve, man, thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on
Appreciate
over,
you coming
man.
up there,
Yeah,
brother.
thank
Thank you.
Okay, so, how does one
Become a Power
chart a
Ranger?
path to
Oh.
being a Power Ranger?
Well, actually,
Good agent. I
Yeah,
think
right.
That's really a really
No,
good
actually,
agent.
It was a
We're going to
fluke.
thank him right now.
It was a fluke, actually. It was a
Really?
fluke. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I've been a martial artist since I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And I was listening to the radio one day when I was about 20, back in '94, and a commercial came on, and it was like, "Hey, we're looking for new Power Rangers. If you know how to do karate and gymnastics, come on down to the local TV
Wow.
station and try out." So I just went down and tried out. I was like, "I'll go see what's up."
Why not?
And I
Yeah.
never dreamed that they'd actually call me back. But a couple days later, they called me back like, "Hey, we liked your audition. We want to fly you to California to meet the producers."
That
So,
is
yeah.
fantastic.
Were you a fan of Power Rangers before?
I knew it, yeah. I was familiar
with
with it. I knew about it because, like I said, I've been teaching martial
Right.
arts and stuff, so all the kids would talk about Power Rangers.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, Power Rangers, what's this? Let me check it out. I'll see what's up. And I would watch the show and I'm like, oh, God, I could do what they're doing. Never, but again, like I said, never actually
Never thinking that
yeah,
anybody's gonna
that
ask
ever
you
get
to
the
do
shot.
that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And so then, yeah, just some weird random commercial I heard on the radio, and a couple of my buddies said, you should go try out. I was like, all right, I'll go.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's kind of how it happened. And then they flew me to California, and then I never moved back. I was in Texas.
That
This is not a
fantastic.
fluke. You actually
That
you
is-
auditioned. You got the role.
Well, right, but it was just random, though. You know, it wasn't like
I
I had
see what you-
aspirations to be
right.
an actor or anything like that.
Oh, I see
As a
what
matter
you're
of
saying.
fact, like I had to learn all that stuff on the job because I had never done any acting before of any kind. And so that was probably the hardest part of it.
Learning
All the
how to
martial arts
act.
stuff was
Yeah.
no problem, but yeah.
Well, we always tell our creative artists on the show, mastery of skill. It's the hardest part of what any of us do.
Yeah.
Is trying to learn our craft.
Yeah.
And you pull your radio off the street and say, okay, action. And
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely. That was a deer in the headlights sort of experience for me, learning that part of it. But after a while, I got
now, for everybody out there on YouTube, what iteration of Power Rangers are you
I
doing?
was on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back from '94 to '97.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. Because we know, guys, there's like a whole list. When you go to Power Rangers, there's a whole list
Yeah,
of
there's a
Power
whole
Ranger
lot of
franchises
incarnations
right
now. Yeah,
Two-
exactly. It's been on-
2.0
This
dinosaur or
month
something like
is
that.
actually the 25-year anniversary. of Power
25
Rangers.
years. Wow. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And you're still out here touring the concert.
Yeah, I go pretty much every weekend. Yeah.
The fans that were watching the show back then are all grown up.
Yeah, they're all grown up now.
And
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
excited. They're
Yeah.
still excited
Yeah.
about Power Rangers.
And you
which
know
is
what's
awesome.
cool too is like now they all have kids too, and they introduce
They're
their
in the-
kids to the show, and now the kids also know who we are as
This
well.
is a brilliant,
Yeah.
redundant product
It's
when you can pull
amazing.
your
It really
kids into
is.
it over and
It
over
really
and
is.
over again.
And it's one of those things where I was a dad when my kids were watching Power Rangers, and I was like, it's a neat little show. That's what it kind of felt like, right? Intentionally, which was really cool, because usually when you see something, it's usually you get the actors on stage or whatever, and they'll say, well, we know we had a low budget and we had this and we had this.
Yeah.
This was made for those kids.
Yeah.
and it stayed that way. And every iteration since has stayed that way.
It's all the same formula. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. And because it's made for your kids to enjoy, and there's a great moral lesson inside Power
Yeah, there's
Rangers.
always like a moral, but it's also very campy as well too.
Yeah.
So,
So how much fun was that to do? To have your first acting gig and be,
I mean,
like you said, deer in the headlights, there you are, and to be on a show that's that campy and that fun and that physical.
Well, I mean, obviously that's the part. It's like there was so much like stuff that we had to do in order to make the episode, but we had to shoot everything very fast. Like we one 22-minute episode would take about a week to film.
Wow.
Yeah, and we were probably shooting like 2 or 3 episodes at a time.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so they could. We never knew like.
like
we'd have to
filming at
get
the
3 scripts. I'm like,
express lane in
all
your
right,
grocery store.
we're in the command center. Now we're going to do this. We got a wardrobe change, and you're going to say this line. They're going to change back again. And so it was very, it was crazy.
And now you have a martial arts background. So what was the challenge going from a real martial arts background to a stage martial arts?
Well, the thing is, like, the style of martial arts that I do was called American Taekwondo, and like I said, I was also a gymnast as well. So that part of it, I used to like.
So when the Red Ranger is like twirling around and doing this, that is Steve.
Yeah. And it was like. I grew up learning fight choreography stuff, so I was already very familiar with that part. So that part, like I said, was easy. It was just the acting that was hard for me.
Now, Steve, you're, and this is going to come in a 2-part question. First of all, coming into a mythos that's already developed.
Yeah.
The moment that you enter, put on that suit until now, how did it change your life? And I'm going to ask the second part behind this question. And I'm using the term directly, your most personable fan experience.
Okay, yeah, sure. Like coming into it, I guess. What was the first part of the question?
Well,
again?
entering
coming into an
mythos.
existing
Once you
franchise.
got set
Yeah,
up,
okay, yeah,
and now going to conventions.
I was
and
actually
stuff, how
very
has it
nervous
changed
about it because I knew that I was replacing the original Red Ranger
Right.
that was on the show for the first season. And I knew there would probably be a lot of angry fans. Be like, who is this guy? So I just kind of all you can do is hope, because anyone would take the job. So all you can do is just hope that you can,
Fortunately, unlike a lot of times with the huge franchises and the adult franchises, adult fans can be. We're kind of prickly.
Yeah.
We get used to something in one movie, 1 2-hour block of our lives. That's the person forever.
Yeah.
That's how actors always talk about getting typecast.
I'm going to bring in my geekdom. It's like when the first Doctor, my Doctor Who, when they brought on the first actor to replace him, I'm sure
There's always friction.
There's always
there, right?
friction, but you also
But
have
the great
those
thing about
people who go
12-year-olds is,
Well, it takes
man, as
time.
long as you're good, they love you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which is
they came
great.
around eventually, so I was
Yeah,
happy
they
about
do.
that.
That's
But to answer your second part of your question, the thing that I probably really like the most about doing Power Rangers and stuff is that we'd always work with MakeAWish Foundation.
Oh, cool.
And so some kids, it was like their dying wish to meet us, so they would always come to the set every week. And it's basically their last thing they're ever going to do. And they get to meet us. So I was very happy about being a part of that because it's unfortunate when kids get sick and stuff like that. And so if their only wish is to meet us, I was really happy to do that. And to me, it's been very rewarding, in that sense. And now these days when I do ComicCon and stuff, people will come up and be like, hey, look, I went through a real hard time in my childhood, and you helped me get through it. So when people say stuff like that to me, it's worth everything that we did. So
That is fantastic. Now, this is a Comic-Con, guys. Literally, we met Steve on the patio. Okay, we're just hanging out, and we met Steve.
That's why it's a Hangin' With Show.
That's right.
Exactly.
There are times
So
we'll just
we
meet
haven't
somebody.
done anything. Literally, back behind the cameras, even this is the first time I can honestly say the girls were completely unprepared. So other than that he's the Red Ranger, we didn't know anything about Steve. So are you still acting, and what are you doing?
Yeah. I still do some acting stuff here and there. Mainly, though, I'm touring right now with ComicCon. I do maybe about 40 weeks out of the year. I'm
40
traveling
weeks
all
out
over
of
the
the
world.
year.
Yeah, I go everywhere.
Wow.
Like later this year, I'm going to Lithuania. I'm going to Vienna, Austria, London.
Wow.
I go everywhere. Yeah.
Back on the set, favorite episode, favorite shoot.
There was quite a few, but honestly, my favorite thing to work on was the Power Ranger movie that we did back in '95.
Yeah.
And the day I got hired, they're like, okay, congratulations, you're the new Red Ranger. We're gonna film for about a month and a half. so we can get some episodes in the can, and then we're going to Australia to do a movie. I was like, I couldn't believe how my life changed, right? It was so crazy. So that's kind of how that happened.
Like
and,
every young actor out there went, I want that.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I would love to pose as a question. Would you mind doing that for us? I'm like, well, let me think.
Right? Yeah, really.
I'll think about it.
Wow.
Man.
I don't know.
Yeah, 40 weeks out of the year on the road at ComicCon.
Yep.
It's a busy schedule.
Yeah.
But it's
I
also
don't
a
mind
great
it at all.
community
Yeah,
to be
of
a
course.
part
Yeah.
of.
I love Comic-Con. You know what I mean? Like, because it gives people like a platform, so to speak, to people that are generally like kind of shunned by society a little bit because they're kind of geeky or nerdy. And they feel like they don't fit in, but this is a place for them.
Yeah,
to
well,
come,
we talk about
I mean?
that on the show all the time. There was a time when we were growing up when the fandoms that are here were kind of all splintered apart, and we were little groups of subculture.
Yeah, exactly.
And now when you come to a place like Tampa Bay Comic-Con, we are pop culture. It's like the first. Many if you got shoved in a locker
cool
as a
to be
kid,
a nerd now.
that was us. And now it's cool.
Yeah.
And there are 100,000 of our closest friends wandering around here.
And it's not only that, but the crossover. I mean, if you go to like a sporting event, you've got the two teams, two sides, and they're fraction, and God forbid they even get into this, go after the same popcorn
Especially in
vending
England, by
machine.
the way.
Right.
Yeah.
They
But
get
if
very
you come
serious.
here, everybody, you got Star Trek, Star Wars, Power Rangers, Doctor Who, everybody, and they're melting together, and they're telling their own story, and they're making it their own way.
Because Steve's probably got pictures on his wall at home of him standing next to like a Jedi on one side and a stormtrooper. And,
actually, one of my favorite experience was actually because I grew up watching The Karate Kid. That was my jam. You know
I
what I
gotta
mean?
ask, are you glad it's back?
Oh, I'm so glad it's back.
Okay.
So I know all those guys too, Billy Zabka and
okay.
So when I got to meet Ralph Macchio for the first time, I was like, oh my God, you are the reason. You are the reason I got into martial arts. And it was like, anyway.
Wow.
So and now I get to see those guys all the time.
She's got a note for you.
Okay. We're saying hello to Lucas. Hi, Lucas. How are you, buddy? Sorry you couldn't be here, but maybe next time we'll see you.
That's right. Thank you very much, Steve, for that. Lucas, we hope you get that message here on the show. And thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
It's been so great.
Thank you for coming.
Man, we have to say goodbye to Steve right now, but as we do, we want to say thank you to our partners and our friends at Something Unique Magazine, Space Coast Comics, Famous Faces and Funnies, Off the Chain Radio with author Yvonne Mason, our great friends at Pound the Grape,
And I'll
our
take
new friends.
Embellish FX in downtown Orlando. If you are a cosplayer and you live in Central Florida,
Or an
you need to
actor.
check-
And if you need spirit gum, wigs, costumes, pieces, parts, as Cosplay Michael calls them, bits and bobs, go to Embellish Effects in Orlando. They've got everything you need to put on. If you want to hang out with Steve and be the next Red Ranger.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of Orlando, November 9th through 11th in Orlando.
That's right.
Yeah.
There is a Power Ranger convention. It's a convention that's just dedicated to Power Rangers. It's called Ranger Stop. So
Ranger Stop, Orlando.
Orlando, November 9th through 11th.
9 through 11.
Come down and check it out. There's going to be probably about 30 Power Rangers there from all different seasons.
That's a lot of Power Rangers.
Including the original Red Ranger from the Japanese Super Sentai series is going to be there as well too.
Man.
And just real fast, Steve, what's your online presence? Where they can find you
Steve
online?
Cardenas PR on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, check him out on Twitter, on Instagram. We're going to put links down below so you can find Steve and check out all those things. But we're going to throw a link up there to the Power Ranger show so you guys can go and get caught up.
Yeah, they're all on Netflix. You can watch all 800 episodes are on Netflix.
800 episodes. No wonder there's 30 of them, because 800
where to
episodes.
begin?
Yeah,
Wow,
where
that
to
is
begin?
fantastic.
Begin right at the beginning.
There you go.
That's right. Start
One
at the
at a time.
beginning. That's right, and just go.
Yeah, very good.
See what I did there? Anyway, guys, stay logged on, stay tuned in, and see who we're hanging with next. Steve, thank you so much.
Thanks,
man.
guys.